I started playing piano when I was around about 5 or 6 years old, and then cello when I was 8. I don't think that age should be a barrier when it comes to learning about something, because anyone at any age, if they're given the motivation, can learn anything.
I love to code. I began coding when I was 6 years old when my dad introduced me to a programming tool called Scratch, where you can drag and drop different blocks of code to make a program. I was amazed at the extraordinary range of things you could create with code. It didn't matter whether it was a game, a tool, or any other application, whether it was simple or complex. It was my own personal creation that was special and unique, and that I could share with the rest of the world.
Our goal is to develop an app for evaluating concussions and to advocate the importance of early detection of concussions.
That Technovation Challenge, the competition I was at, really springboarded me into exploring how not only how does technology work, but how can I actually use technology to create something that can help other people.
This is the login screen of the app.
Timeless is an easy-to-use caregiver-assisted app for Alzheimer's patients. It uses artificial intelligence-based facial recognition technology to help them, recognize the people around them and stay connected with their friends and family. And what inspired me to create Timeless was my experiences with my grandmother. So she has Alzheimer's disease, and having grown up with her and being raised by her, I kind of had first-hand experience of what it's like to kind of cope with the disease as a family member. My grandmother essentially really raised me, especially because my parents were working during the day, so after school she would pick me up and she would look after me while I did my homework, and I watched TV and we would talk together. And so we were actually really close while I was growing up, especially because I actually spent most of my time with her outside of school and with my parents. And so over time as the disease kind of took a greater impact on her, it became really clear to me that, something was up.
We've tried to cope by setting up visual aids around the house. She has a whiteboard that her caregiver updates regularly that has the date, her home address, appointments that are coming up, and my dad's phone number. She also has an iPad that she uses to look at photos of my parents and me regularly to help remind her of us. She uses these often but still gets confused and needs constant reminders. As a family member of an Alzheimer's patient, it's hard to feel in control of the situation. Coding is a place that I have complete control over what's going on. So I developed Timeless.
When I first started developing Timeless, this was, even though I had some experience, really basic experience with, app programming, this is the first time I saw a product, go from start to finish, how getting the idea, designing it, and then actually developing it. And so, because of that, I went and sought out a lot of mentors along the way, and especially in, the artificial intelligence side, because, that was especially new to me.
Take a look and see, and try and do some proactive debugging.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because Kairos is one of the only ones that had facial recognition that was through people that she had programmed into the service before, and then also Kairos was one of the only people who actually responded to my emails, because I just cold emailed people and said I'm a middle school coder with this project, could you be my mentor? And so I was really fortunate that Kairos was fit what I wanted to do, and also became my mentor.
Hi Cole, how are you? My name is Emma Yang. My passion is to use computer science to improve people's lives. I'm currently working on an iOS app to help Alzheimer's patients' daily life. It'll be greatly appreciated if you could help me. Best, Emma. What Emma was looking for was, first of all, just an access to a developer account that she could experiment with and try out our service for free when she's integrating facial recognition into her app. But she also asked for help.
I can, actually take a picture of myself, or in real life, this would be another a person around the patient. This. And then, the Kairos side of the facial recognition will actually say, okay, this is Emma, your granddaughter, so that the patient can look at this and then actually recognize this person. I think really without the artificial intelligence, this app really wouldn't, be as impactful as it could be, because, the big part is that, a patient can, in the photo, see who that person is through facial recognition, or even in real life through taking a photo. And so, if I hadn't found, this facial recognition and Kairos, really this wouldn't have taken off. And it's really the driving force behind Timeless.
To see the quality and the thoughtfulness that Emma had put into her app was amazing if she had been a college student or a graduate student, never mind at her age. Just to see, not only did she have a great idea, well executed, but she also had a business plan around the app. So she had thought through, not just building the app and sticking it on the App Store. She actually had a plan for what she wanted to do with it and how she was going to engage different people to help her in her journey. She recognized her own weaknesses as well as her strengths, and was able to get a number of people together to help her out to get this into production.
My name is Dr. Melissa Cramps, and I am a nurse practitioner. So I had feedback for Emma in terms of making the app user-friendly for older adults. It's not every day that you meet a 13-year-old who speaks 3 languages and can code in equally as many languages. So that alone is impressive. She has this awareness in part because of personal experience with her grandmother who has Alzheimer's disease, to have an awareness that there is a need for this and want to help, instead of just lamenting like, oh, my grandmother doesn't recognize me anymore. She went a step further and said, well, how can I help her recognize me?
In the beginning it was just for me and my grandmother, I thought. But as this grew, I saw this feedback from online on social media and articles that this was actually an idea that a lot of people thought would be great for their families and people that they knew who had Alzheimer's, and which has been really motivating for me, because it's not something that just for me, but for a whole community of Alzheimer's patients. And so that's what really motivated me, that there are people out there who could really benefit from